Welcome everyone. My name is Nikos, aka Sephir, and this is Out of the Box, EDH. Last week, another Final Fantasy commander was revealed, and that was Gladiolus Amicitia from Final Fantasy XV. I hope I pronounced the name correctly because I have not played that Final Fantasy game. Uncommon, by the way, Gruul colors, 6 CMC Human Warrior. When Gladiolus Amicitia enters, search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Landfall, whenever a land you control enters, another target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. Okay, it's Golos. It's a fixed Golos in Gruul colors. Let's see how we can build a unique and fun brew with it. I will obviously stay in the first ability. It allows us to fetch for any land, thus giving us the opportunity to build around any specific land. What lands exist that we can make him work? Oh, tons of them. Field of the Dead and go for a generic landfall list. Eye of Ugin and go for an Eldrazi ramp Gruul brew. Yavimaya and go for an Abuse Forest and Things with Forest Walk list, perhaps with a sprinkle of goading? Not unlike the original Golos, the possibilities are endless. What I will build my list around, though, is Sorrow's Path. Sorrow's Path is a land mocked by many as the worst card in Magic, and not for the wrong reasons. Let's see what it does. Tap it, choose 2 target blocking creatures controlled by the same opponent. If each of those creatures could block all creatures that the other is blocking, remove both of them from combat. Each one of them blocks all creatures the other was blocking. Mediocre. What is far more important, though, is the following triggered ability. When this land becomes tapped, it deals 2 damage to you and each creature you control. So, we can take advantage of Sorrow's Path and build a wonderful Gruul list that is built around hitting our own stuff and taking some kind of advantage from that. First of all, let's start with damage abusers. Enrage is a wonderful mechanic, and we obviously want creatures with toughness bigger than 2, so that they can survive our Sorrow's Path damage. Raging Raptor is an amazing ramp creature, as is Cacophodon, which can untap Sorrow's Path for more activations. Vrondis can be a reliable source of bitters. Hungering Hydra can become very huge, very fast, while Zalto and the Ripjaw Raptor can provide us with crucial card advantage. Cards like Brass Taunter and Donna Noble can send some of the Sorrow's Path damage to our opponents. Speaking of sending damage to our opponents, Wrathful Raptors and Ill-Tempered Loner, or Howlpack Avenger, are the nuclear options. Screaming Nemesis can make your opponents forget about any kind of life gain, while Polyraptor and Apex Altisaur are our heavy hitters. Finally, Rite of Passage is an extremely powerful and fun card that can gradually buff our stuff, making them more resistant to future Sorrow's Path activations. And Expedited Inheritance can provide us with tons of options out of nowhere. How do we mitigate the damage Sorrow's Path deals to us, though? There are a few ways to do that, and the easiest one is by gaining life whenever a land enters play. The deck will have lots of ramp anyways, since our commander's second ability will help to buff our creatures so that they can endure more than one Sorrow's Path activations. We have Retreat to Kazandu, which can give us life or buff our creatures to resist Sorrow's Path more, Druid Class, which will also give us an extra land drop per turn, and Primeval Bounty, an old favorite of mine. Another couple of tricks we can use is Platinum Imperium, which will basically keep our life total the same, and Pariah's Shield, which will redirect the damage we take to some other, more suitable candidate. How do we reliably tap Sorrow's Path, though? Do we have to wait for an opponent of ours to block with 2 creatures? Of course not. I mean, we can use it like that as well, but we have many more ways we can tap it far more reliably and efficiently than that. Things like Chromatic Lantern, Prismatic Omen, Druid of the Elysian Grove can just make it tap for mana, while the same is of course true with Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. We can also use auras like Gift of Paradise to tap it for mana, or Tarmogoyf's Nest to tap it as a creature producer. Let's move to our ramp package. As always, we have the Sacred Five, aka Farsic, Rampant Growth, Nature's Lore, 3 Visits, and Sakura Tribe Elder. We will also use Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Search for Tomorrow, and Sky Shroud Claim. Oh, and obviously a Soul Ring. Carpet of Flowers is a powerful option, while we have already mentioned things like Chromatic Lantern, Raging Raptors, and Gift of Paradise. It is not enough though. As I said earlier, we want to increase our land drops per turn to not only use our commander's buff to our creatures, but also to gain more life from various life gain sources. Druid class and Ride of the Elysian Grove were already mentioned. Some other good options are Exploration and Mina and Den. What about card advantage? Other than the ones we talked about already, we can also use things like Garruk Primal Hunter and Rishka's Expertise, while the generic Seer Sundial can also put some good work with all the land drops in the deck. Of course, if you have the budget for it, you can never go wrong with a great Henge that buffs our creatures, gives us life, and card draw all in one card. God, it does so many things. We can use a few more damage dealers other than Sorrow's Path, like Pyrochemia, Endbrigger, Exocrine, or Aetherflash. But beware with that one. Aetherflash creates an infinite with Polyraptor that can only stop if you kill one of them or if you have a third pest to take advantage of the situation. The number of tutors the deck can run depends on the price you are willing to pay, but in my list I will put no less than 5. Finale of Devastation, Natural Order, Savage Order, and Worldly Tutor are all great options, while Chord of Calling and Eldritch Evolution can be equally good budget ones. As far protection goes, the vast majority of our protection spell involves around indestructibility and regeneration, since they can not only save some of our pieces from removal, but also save a creature of ours from death by Sorrow's Path. Heroic Intervention and Amigu's Safekeeping are auto includes, as is Tivar's Stand, Withstand Death, and Asceticism. Smuggler's Surprise is a multi-tool, while some trickier options are Tibalt's Trickery and Boltbend. Finally, a more expensive but extremely reliable option is Yavimaya Hollow. A few more cards that deserve to be mentioned are Welcome to Jurassic Park, that actually provides us a cradle for dinosaurs, and Springheart Nantuko, that can provide us with many different play patterns and multiple copies of other creatures. Finally, for removals, we already have enough that depend on damage, thus we will use the staples Beast Within and Chaos Warp to deal with other kinds of threats. Bridgewater's Battle works as a removal and for triggering our own stuff at the same time, while Blasphemous Act is our mass removal of choice. That leaves us with a hefty space of 34 to 35 lands to work with. Obviously, we start with Sorrow's Path. We'll use Stomping Ground, Wooded Foothills, Commercial District, Spire Garden, Firelit Thicket, Cinderglade, and Grove of the Banwillows. The usual staples Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, and Path of Ancestry are in. Thespian Stage and Vesuva can be used to have multiple Sorrow's Path in play, while Yavimaya can help us to tap it far easier. Scavenger Grounds is our option for Graveyard Hate, while other possible inclusions are Glacial Chasm, that stops the damage from Sorrow's Path entirely to us, Yavimaya Hollow, that we mentioned earlier, and Maze of Ith, as a generic good land. We are left with 14 spots for basics, as always, giving priority to the forests, because of the ramp package. This is my take on Gladiolus Amicitia, a Sorrow's Path deck. I will leave the decklist in the description below, and if you have any other suggestions on what commander you would like me to build around next time, just write it in a comment below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, come join my Discord, where all my personal and public lists are uploaded. See you around! Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.